Welcome to the Build a Lifestyle podcast, where we're going to talk about building your lifestyle. We're going to talk about money, family, relationships, health and fitness, spiritual and self-development, and experience. What are you doing for fun? What are we doing to experience this life that we're here to do? So welcome to the show. I'm your host, Michael Burns. Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Build a Lifestyle podcast. I'm your host, Mike Burns. We got an awesome show today. I got two of my best buddies in town. We've got Kevin Marron, a.k.a. the Gutter King, coming in hot from Atlanta. First time to Utah, checking out all the mountains out here. What's up, bro?
What's up? Thanks for having me. I love it here. I'm loving the mountains so far. I'm the Gutter King and blue collar millionaire. I don't know which I'm going to be now. I got to switch it up.
That's right, blue collar millionaire. So yeah, Kevin's coming in from Atlanta, and then we've got Levi Wanner, coming in from Billings, Montana. What's up, Levi?
What up, guys? I'm not so freaked out by the snow like Kevin is. You used to that?
Yeah, we're used to it. We're Rocky Mountain built.
Yes, we are.
But no, I'm stoked to have you guys out. So, you know, a little bit of background. I'll start with Kevin. I met Kevin first, but Kevin and I met about 4 years ago, right?
Yep. At Tim Brotz's Legacy Mastermind.
Yeah. So it was in Charleston, South Carolina, but we had joined a similar mastermind. And you guys follow me. You know, I preach relationships. Relationships is what I've built my life and business on. And the more that I've upgraded my environment and the different groups and networking and masterminds that I'm a part of, the more that I'm upgrading my relationships and just have guys like Kevin and Levi here. And even though we live in different parts of the country, Kevin's in Atlanta, I'm in Salt Lake, Levi's in Montana, we're doing deals together, we're doing business together and just building relationships. And that's really what it's all about. So super stoked to have everybody in the studio today to shoot a podcast. But Kevin, you're, so we met in Charleston, South Carolina, kind of a real estate, I would say that was a real estate mastermind group. But really you're more of a business guy. I'm a real estate guy. But yeah, 4 years ago. And then we moved over to the Dealmaker group with Mark Evans, and we've just been kind of rolling since then.
Yeah. Basically every good high level relationship I have has come from that first mastermind.
Yeah.
Because then that turned into the Dealmaker, and then all the people I've been connected with from everybody who's in that. That's been a game changer for me. I actually got into that in 19.
Yeah.
I was thinking in 2017, 18, my business was growing. I kind of had outgrown a lot of my friends. They didn't want to really talk about business. They wouldn't talk about bullshit and everything they hate. So I was like, I got to get real people who are doing big things, and I want to talk about business. And I really even thought about things like I want to be going to UFC fights and other type of stuff with guys who are doing exactly what we're doing, and now we're doing it this weekend. It's kind of, I was thinking about that on the plane here. I'm like, this is exactly what I had envisioned like 4 or 5 years ago. But you don't know any of those people, so you don't even know if it's possible.
Yeah, and that's what I love about mastermind groups is it's basically you're putting yourself in an environment where other people are looking for the same thing, you know, an environment and relationships where you can grow and build. And yeah, dude. So I mean, everyone's flowing in. You flew in from Atlanta. Levi flew in from Montana. We're shooting some podcast show today, and gonna go check out some properties, head up to Park City, check out Utah, show Kevin around, and then tomorrow we're going to the UFC fights in Salt Lake. And it's cool, man, when you can do business and hang out and pleasure and just all of that self-development, all that stuff together. It's it makes for different connections, and that's really what I value most. So I appreciate you rolling in, dude. And then Levi, you and I met on an airplane going to Arte Syndicate event.
Yeah, it pays to sit in first class and have a nice watch on.
Dude, it like literally he had an Arte hat on and a Rolex on. I said, dude, you're going to Arte, nice hat, nice watch.
Right. And Meg sat behind me, and we just started chatting like through the seats the whole flight. So that's how our friendship kind of started.
Yeah, and then we got our bags. I got in a fight with this dude trying to tell me I had to wear a mask in the airport. I was like, fuck you, bro. This guy's saying someone with more authority than you to tell me this shit.
Right.
And Levi's like, who is this guy?
I like it.
But yeah, we shared an Uber to the hotel, and so met through Arte, which is one of the first, like that was my big first mastermind I committed to, and a large investment. It's like $70,000 for the year. But I met Levi there, and then Levi was interested in the Dealmaker group, you know, talking to me, and then kind of seeing some of the stuff going on with Mark, and so connected Levi with Mark, and now he's in the Dealmaker, and so Levi and Kevin know each other through that too. So it's just cool to see.
Yeah, and Arte was my first mastermind. You know, coming from Montana, there's not a lot. I mean, you know, it's rural. Like we only have 100,000 people where I'm from, so a lot of the people, you know, there's not a lot of people that are trying to get to the places that the three of us are trying to get to. And like Kevin was saying, it's fun to be able to ride that ride to get, you know, find the people that are doing that. You know, we're still friends with the people that we were friends with, but now we're growing with other people. So that's what's fun.
They might even try to derail you.
True story.
Yeah.
Right. Till you talk about business too much.
Yeah.
Dude, everybody wants to see you do good until you're doing better than them.
100%.
That's one thing I've really noticed. It's like, hell yeah, man, that's cool. But then once it's like, oh,
Well, once they see you doing better, it's one thing. But when it's so clear, like you're doing like 5 times as bad, you know, if they're making 200,000 and you're making $1 million,
Right.
That's when you see it happen. They get upset about it.
yeah, it's interesting. It really is. And just the network, and this is what I'm always talking about, you know, when I'm speaking or just whatever, how important your environment is, because everything in your environment is either an asset or a liability to the goals and the dreams that you want to accomplish in the life that you're trying to build. Like literally everything. It's either an asset and it's in alignment and supporting what it is you're trying to do, or it's a liability, and you really have to draw that hard line. And I think people is the first part of that. And then you start looking at what are you taking in, what are you eating, what are you drinking, what are you listening to, you know, what are you watching? And really the more that I've been aware and increase my level of awareness around what is my environment that I'm in, that's really what's changed my life and my business. I mean, my life's better. I'm in better shape. I have better relationships. I'm happier, spiritually more sound. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in. And that's all a direct result of the environment that I continue to keep myself in. And I think the environment that we're in is composed primarily of the people that we're around. You know, everybody's heard that you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. But have you really actually thought about that? Like you guys listening, have you sat down and really like, hey, these are the people I spend the most time around, and actually thought about, are they an asset to me, or are they a liability to me? Do they support, you know, what I'm trying to do, or do they not? And the more that, that's hard to find, like you're saying, Levi. So anyways, I'm stoked to have you guys here. I'd like to get into, you know, offering some value. That's really what we're here to do for the listeners. So Kevin, let's talk about your business a little bit, man. Like tell everybody what you do, kind of a little bit of your story.
Okay, well, I'm a lifelong entrepreneur, and about 23 years ago, I started this business called the Gutter Kings. I do gutter, it's super simple, gutter cleaning for apartment complex and condo associations. I started in New Jersey, then I went to Pennsylvania, then Connecticut. Now I'm in 29 states. It's the same model over and over. It's making French fries at McDonald's. I could teach it to anybody. It's the same shit over and over. And I just get behind it, and I stayed consistent, and I saw a big vision for it, and I just continue to grow it. It's easy. It's not complicated. It's residual work. So I'm doing these people 2 times a year. I mean, I have customers I've been doing over 20 years now. So I like that model, and that's how I buy businesses and look into other businesses now. I always look for a similar model to that. I don't want like super complicated stuff. I want to make it easy. That's why I use that analogy, like making McDonald's and French fries at McDonald's. Like I've never done that, but I'm pretty sure I could go in there on a Monday. I'll be probably kicking everybody's ass in McDonald's.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the same thing with gutter cleaning. I mean, within 2 weeks, if you're basically going to be as good as you're ever going to get at that. So that's an easy model to grow, and it's super profitable. And there's more work than there is people to do it. It's just got so many good things about it. So that's how I grew it.
Yeah, and I mean, you started like on the roof doing the work yourself, and then kind of transitioning into where you've got a huge business now. I mean, you just had a 20 million valuation.
Right, all the things. I started off cutting grass, and the reason I got into gutter cleaning is because I was cleaning some people's gutters who I was cutting grass. So I was doing all that by myself.
Yeah.
And even on probably the first 10 apartment complexes I did them by myself. The entire place, like 40 buildings. Like and I was young and moving fast, and then I had 1 guy, then 2 guys, then 3 guys, and so on. So all that physical, all that stuff on the outside, I did all of it myself. So, and guys respected that. They were like, yeah, he knows everything about this, because I had to figure out all the fastest ways to do everything. And then internally, I was doing everything from the bookkeeping to phone calls to sales. So then I had to get myself out of that. And now it's like, I have a team of virtual assistants, people handling everything. I don't, of course, do anything on the roof or anything like that now. And that's how I grew it. But it took a long time. But I could do it much faster now than if I knew what I knew now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's cool because you've basically gone from being the guy in the truck doing it, and then now you're full blown running a huge operation. He's a very humble guy. Like, this guy's got a real business doing serious money in 29 different states. So, and it's cool that you're essentially lining up working contracts with contractors and the labor and kind of matching the two.
Yeah. So I used to use all employees, and then 2016 I started switching over using a lot of subcontractors. So it's like 90% subcontractors now.
Yeah.
So think of like small kind of guys that were like I was like one guy in a truck with a helper, and I become their best customer. Maybe they're doing 200 houses a year, and I say, yeah, keep doing your 200 houses, and I'm going to give you like 75 complexes to do too. So it's a great thing for them, and I watch them grow and hire more people, and then I help them on the side buying investment properties, and it's incredible to watch.
Well, and what's cool and really, what you're doing with your social media, and you've got a mastermind group, and Levi and I are rolling some stuff out too, but you can't like, whether you're trying to teach someone to do something or it's a leadership role, like, because you've done all of it, you understand it and you can talk intelligently to it, but it's hard to tell people to do shit that you haven't done or aren't willing to do yourself. And I see that so much in business, or like in, people who are in a leadership role. It's like that you want to sit here and dictate to people, but you're not willing to do the fucking thing that you're telling these guys to do. And that's such a difference. And Levi, we'll get to your business too, but that's, for me and my business, like I've literally done all the stuff that like my team, I ask them to do or I expect them to do. And from a leadership role, you're never going to grow a big company or a big business if you have weak leadership skills. So like being about it, not, don't talk about it, be about it. That's one of my favorite things to say. And that's just one thing I want to point it out there with that. I
agree with all that. Yeah. That's the thing, since I came from the bottom of that and I built it all up. And now, to think I have a 8-figure business, I can show everybody how to do it. That's why I started this Blue Collar Millionaire, because I see these guys killing themselves for kind of peanuts.
Yeah.
We're not doing all this to make $100,000. Somebody might think that's a lot, or $150,000. And, you're beating up your body. There's a better way to do it. So I want to see, that's what I'm trying to do. I'd love to make 1,000 Blue Collar Millionaires.
And a lot of those guys don't know that they're actually building a business that they can sell.
They don't even know.
They just kind of liquidate at the end, and
100%.
Instead of building a business that you can sell. And that's what's great about your mastermind as well, is that you're actually buying businesses and selling business and not just trying to teach it.
Yeah, so many guys I knew, blue collar guys, who have been asking me for like the last 10, 15 years, and I was helping them how to grow their business, everything. And now I talk to them all about that, and then how to build your business first so it's built to sell. So even if it's not even that big and you're making $200,000 a year, I'm not saying, that's not really that big, netting $200,000 a year, you got $1 million business.
Yeah.
When you want to retire at 52 and go do something else, go cash in on that $1 million.
Well, here's the thing. And Levi, you were just saying that these guys, especially in the trades, the blue collar, you're like your world. And Levi, you're a builder. I mean, that's blue collar to a certain degree, and kind of what I do too. But if you're just sitting here running your business and you're saying, like, these guys, they get to 50, 60 years old and they have this business, but not really realizing that it's worth money or to build it a certain way, or like you're sitting here thinking, oh, I made $150,000. And if you're hanging around on a bunch of dipshits, like Mark talks about, you're king dingaling, and you think, oh, I'm making $150,000, I'm the big baller in the room. That's why your environment is so important in upgrading it. So, like if you didn't upgrade your environment, you would have thought like, oh, hey, I make a couple $100,000 a year, that's cool. Or like if you're not upgrading your environment, you don't realize, like you, Kevin, you just had a huge offer on your business, $20 million, right? But you would have not, if you wouldn't continue upgrading your environment and raising your level of awareness and having new information, you wouldn't really realize what you had. Or like just, being around bigger thinking is going to make you think bigger. And you're like, oh, well, dude, I could grow this thing to 50 for real.
Borrowed belief is a powerful thing. And when you get around people who are selling businesses for 50 million, 80 million, 100 million, like a 20 million doesn't seem like much of anything. But if you hang out with people who are making $62,000 a year and they're always, you're hanging out and having a beer with them and they're trying to give you $20 on $100 bill.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been around that.
Right. Worried about their Monday night football game that they're trying to watch instead of building their business and bettering themselves.
They know every player on their football team, but they don't know anything about their business. It's crazy to me. And Mike, I think I told you, like, I have friends who do that. They're so worried about like what everybody else is doing. And they'll say, man, you don't even watch sports anymore. You probably don't even know the players on your favorite team. Like when I was 14 years old, I said, bro, I don't give a shit. I play for Gutter King and we win championships every fucking year.
Right.
Like that's all. I'm not worried about the New York Giants or the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
I know everybody on my team and I want everybody to win. And I get up, that's what we're trying to win every year.
Well, and one thing that you just said, dude, like I want everybody to win. And just this week, you just bought one of your key people on your team brand new car because you want them to win, right?
Yeah.
Tell the story about that, because that's leadership and that's truly wanting everyone to win, and that's really setting culture. And that's one of the things I've learned with just these different mentors we have is how important culture is. So tell that story, man, because I think it's valuable.
Been with me since 2015, and she's been an incredible asset to the company. She works like 7 days a week. I mean, she's like living it, and she gets profit sharing as the company's grown. I cut her into that a long time ago, so our interests are aligned. She recruits. She's built teams under her. She's all in the Philippines. She did have a car. She was going to buy this. She was talking about buying this new truck and getting a loan on it and all these different things. And interest rates are even much higher over there. So originally I was like, well, I'll give you the money and I'll give you 0% interest. And then after seeing Mark do that, I was just like, I'm just going to buy it for her.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that might sound crazy. But I just feel like I'm winning. Why can't she win even on it? Rather than just getting bonuses, like that feels awesome to get somebody a brand new vehicle.
Oh.
And it's like
loyalty goes both ways.
Yep.
Right? You got to be loyal to her as much as she's been loyal to you. And it was cool to see.
And yeah, it's not like I'm thinking like this strategy, but I mean, let's face it, like she was already going to stay down until I sold this company, but now she's 100%.
Yeah.
But I've done that on a smaller level with guys who worked for me and stuff, and I would, help them out and take care. And I always think, yeah, that's the difference between guys doing 12 buildings a day and 16. Like they get motivated, like, yeah, Kevin's on my side. Let me help him build his company. You got to get people aligned like that. But now, since the numbers are much bigger, I mean, let's buy some cars and stuff.
Well, yeah, dude, and I think a lot of people will look at that as like, oh, that was an expense, man. But you look at it, and you don't even have to say, because I know like that's an investment in your business. It's an investment in the relationship. It's an investment in your culture. And honestly, dude, it's an investment in you and your giving muscle too, as a leader,
That's a tough one because we talk about that, but we're giving charities to like that we did in Dealmaker and stuff like that. Like people think, oh, when I make millions of dollars, I'll give money, but that doesn't work like that. You got to give what you can now, even if you're making $50,000, give $100.
Yeah,
give $50, and it feels great, and it's like it comes back to you in so many positive ways. So you have to definitely exercise that giving muscle. And yet there's always like this thing like, should I really just give all that,
Yeah.
But when you do it, you never regret it. And you never think like, why did I do that? That hurt me. Never do. You just do more of it.
Well, and the thing I want to point out about giving too, dude, and talking about environment and raising, the environment that you're in and the standard, we roll with Mark Evans, and Mark is an extremely generous dude. He's really big on charity. Last year, we raised $500,000 at his birthday party for Underground Railroad. This year, we raised $700,000. We as a group, right? So, like, I think being around that and being around a guy that, like, that's part of his core values. And then now here you are implementing the same thing. And that's how you cause this ripple effect of, doing good in the world and our businesses. So Levi, what's up, bro?
What up, man?
Coming in from Billings.
Yeah, short flight.
Yeah, so Levi's, I'll let you tell him about yourself, but Levi's one of the biggest builders in the state of Montana. we just opened up a lifestyle lending office out there in Montana as well. And tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm a native Montana boy from eastern Montana. You know, about 2,000 people were in that town, and moved to Billings, Montana. Just grew up in real estate my whole life. I started as a maintenance man in property management to managing a big apartment complexes, and then got into real estate sales. And as I was selling, I started selling for a builder, and he, you know, still builds a great house, a good friend of mine, but he just couldn't keep up with the productivity that I wanted to hit. I wanted to, you know, do 100 houses instead of 10.
Yeah.
So I decided to just start my own building company. So I started my own building company. We're about 12 years deep. We build anywhere between 30 and 50 houses a year in Montana. So we just scaled to city number 2. We're in Helena, Montana. So that's pretty exciting. Like you said, we opened the mortgage brokerage. So between mortgage, building, selling real estate, you know, we've got it all handled, investing. So my sister works with me. I've got, you know, good staff, guys. You know, what's great about us is like even my project manager, I went to high school with, and like a bunch of my subs I went to high school with. So it's just a community that we've built to pump this many houses out.
Yeah, man. And all around, again, like you guys are going to hear a common thread throughout anything that I do. And relationships is a big one. You know, Levi's sitting here talking about, he's basically saying relationships, you know, all these people he's known. Another thing that I think is cool about your business, dude, is you work with your sister. So it's kind of family.
Yeah.
I've got my family involved. Kevin's mom works with him.
That's awesome.
Kevin's, you know, his brother's super involved in his life. So, and family is one of my core values, one of the lifestyle core values. So I think it's just interesting as I'm talking about this environment, guys, and the people that you're around, you'll start to see similar commonalities and the things that are important in people and core values and relationships being super high on that list. So it's, I mean, you literally just saw it with the 3 of us.
Absolutely. It was great about working with family too, is my sister and I can, you know, be yelling and screaming at each other about a deal or something. And then like 5 minutes later, it's like, hey, where are we going to lunch? Like there's no animosity. There's no like, you know, it's just, we have a common goal and we're going to get there together. And it's fun to watch her grow as well.
Yeah. I think one of the most impactful things, and Kevin and I were there together. So we were at the Dealmaker and meetup or event, and I think we were in Pennsylvania, and we're in the cigar room.
Yep.
There's probably 8 of us. It's late, dude, maybe 1 a.m, hanging out, smoking cigars, just chilling. And I think Mark said, he's like, I don't understand why guys are fucking around with, you know, this, you know, one-off guys here and there. He's like, I want to win with winners. And me and Kevin looked at each other, and it just hit us at the same time. We're like, yeah, dude, why wouldn't you just go win with winners instead of like doing all this other stupid shit? We're in this group where we're all paying $50,000 a year to be in it. I'm hanging around all that. Why am I not winning with other winners and just going straight to, you know, like bringing my value or whatever? So
I probably said that quote like 125 times since he said that. It's so true.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I did the opposite. I actually told my mom, you're saying she's involved in my business. I said, yeah, I'm only winning with winners now. And she said, yeah, because you've been winning with losers for a long time, and it's hard. And that's the truth. Is, you know, not that I want to call people losers, but I just had a thing where I was trying to like want something for somebody more than they wanted. You guys have done that, right? Where a guy's not motivated and you're trying to pull them up. It's draining. They don't want to do it. You just got to let people do their thing. I want to go with people who are motivated, want to do the best, want to be the best version, want to be good family people, all that stuff. I want to be in line with all of that. And then it's so easy to do deals. And now I bought a couple businesses with winners. They have all the same core values, all that stuff. It's so super important. You know, it's not that somebody needs kids, but I want to know that they're cool with their family and they have good relationships and people like them and everything else like that. And they do what they say they're going to do. And it just, you look at like with the roofing business I bought with Sean, he's a winner and he's got all those core values. And that's why it's just going so well. There's no resistance. Mm-hmm. But I've done it with other people where like everything they do, I'm like, why are they doing that? Or they said they were going to do this, but they want to go to Miami and get drunk or whatever. It's like, we're not aligned in what we want to do. Yeah. Go do your thing, but I'm trying to build big business.
And a lot of people want to talk about how they want to win, like you guys are, but then their actions don't follow the path that are going to take you. They're not going to reverse engineer it. Like if I want to do this X amount of business. How do I get there? And then they veer off and do the exact opposite.
100%. That's so frustrating to do. So that's what I'm doing. If I just want to win with winners all the way through, and I know I do that, I can have 10 Gutter Kings, with partners.
Right.
I can't do them all by myself. You got to get with people to do it. That was kind of why I got into Mastermind too, because I wanted to get into buying apartment complexes. I knew I didn't want to buy one like a 40 unit by myself and run it in Atlanta. I just didn't want to do all that. So I'm like, I got to get around people who are doing it, but then I need to watch them, know them, like them, trust them if I'm going to give money, because we've probably all been burnt. I was burnt in 2007 when I was all that shit happened with real estate with a guy I gave money to on a business, and he just screwed me. But he was a scumbag. The red flags were there. I ignored him because I was like, nah, it's going to make money. Who cares?
Right.
He's a dirtbag. He doesn't take care of his kids. Like, if you don't care about your kids, you think you care about my money?
That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Or guys too, we're out at a lot of these times we're going these business events, and most of the times it's, you're with all the guys, and you see the dudes that go off and fuck around on their wives while we're out on a weekend or whatever at a business event. And for me, that's a major character flag. Like, we can, that's cool. We can still be buddies and shit. But if I see you cheat on your wife and you're doing some shit like that, and that's like who you're doing life with, like, and I'm just a potential business partner, I'm good.
I'm 100% on that too. Go do whatever you want to do and stuff, but I'm not going to do business with you, because if you do that to your life partner, I mean, that's a big red flag. That's the thing with family too, is I look at people's relationship with their family. You can always have one sibling and things, but when you ever meet somebody and like they have all these outs with all their family members, it's probably them. They probably burned all those bridges and they're about to burn the one with you.
Right.
But when you look at someone and you like, man, their family's cool, they're tight with them, they have this nice relationship, they're great with their kids. That makes me want to do business with them.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, dude, it's like the life that someone's living currently is literally the results of everything they've done up to that point.
Yep.
So you're seeing their results live, and you like it is so. Eric Spofford is who I've heard say it, and I love the saying. He says, when people show you who they are, believe them, and believe them fast. And it's hard for guys like us who are moving, earlier you said it's like you want it for them more than they do, So it's like, for me, it's challenging when I see someone that's got potential, and it's like, you see the potential and it's like, I want you to be successful more than you want to be successful for yourself. And you can't, you either got it or you don't,
Because you see like 4 things. If they just do these 4 things, it will work out for them. Yeah. Like almost all their problems will go away.
Right.
And then they don't do them over and over. I don't know. I can't tell you how much time I wasted doing that.
On a positive note, the winners on win with winners, like coming from a smaller community and, having all the real tight-knit high school group and all that kind of stuff that, they're doing great, but I want to do huge things. It was so refreshing to go to like that first Arte event or the DM event. Like, there's crazy fuckers like me out there that I can win with. Like, we're all going to be in this together. Like, I felt so isolated and alone, wanting to be better.
Oh, because like my family's always. I was in the fucking ER yesterday when you guys got in, and then the ICU a couple weeks ago. But it's like, even before that, my family and people are always saying, hey, slow down, man. You need to slow down. Stop and smell the roses. Like, you're trying to do too much. And it's like, it makes you start, if that's the environment that you're in, you start to think like, oh, maybe I should, but then you hang around other guys, like, quit being a bitch, bro. You need to fucking.
Maybe I am.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, you showed up with your B game today. What are you doing?
Right.
So that environment. But Kevin, you said something earlier, and I think it's one of the most valuable things that I've figured out. Everyone wants to talk about the magic pill or the shortcuts or, whatever. And there are no shortcuts, but I will say, I think if there were to be a shortcut in life and business, it would be via a mentor or a coach. Absolutely. Or going to someone who is doing the thing that it is that you want to do and learning from them.
Yeah. I mean, you could just look at this. If you could go back 10 years, 20 years in your life and talk to yourself for a weekend, what would you tell yourself? Like, you could fix you could speed so many things up. So that's how I try to approach. If I have a mentor, I have one that's 84. He's went to Harvard Business School and Yale. He's super smart guy. He's sold businesses for 8 figures. And I just ask him all the stuff I want to know. And I know I'm getting it from, I mean, he gives me like just basic stuff, but it's like it comes from the right person. And I'm like, yeah, it gives me confidence to act on it. Well, why do I want to figure that out, you know, on my own? It might take me 5 years. It might take me a couple conversations with him to figure it out.
Well, and you can, I mean, you're picking up, I mean, he's 85, so you're picking up a lifetime worth. But even if you have someone that's 5 years, 10 years ahead of you in business, and the amount of lessons and hardships and lost money and bad deals and just stressful situations that you can minimize and or just avoid altogether because you are able to learn from other people's mistakes. So it's like, why pay the same price that others have before you when you don't have to? You could just join a group, get a coach, read a book, listen to a podcast. And it's not even about, a lot of people will use a money excuse because people don't understand the difference of an investment versus an expense. Like working on yourself is never an expense. That's always an investment. So shifting that mindset. But you don't have to go join a $50,000 mastermind. You can start with reading a $15 Think and Grow Rich book.
Absolutely.
Where you've got a dude who literally interviewed all of the wealthiest, most successful people in the world at that time and composed all of the similar traits that he saw with all of them and put it in a book called Think and Grow Rich. And that's like a staple of any entrepreneur, business person I know. But the ability to just learn from others, I think that's truly is the only shortcut.
I agree with that. You ever have somebody who doesn't maybe have much money, maybe they have $1,000. I used to have guys who work for me like, what can we invest in this? What can like I said, even if you had something that's going to make 20% on $1,000, you're going to have $1,200. Nothing's going to change. I said, I'd take that $1,000 and go buy some books and invest the time to read them or get around people. That's a much better way. So I would say 10,000 or less, that's what everybody should be doing, investing in themselves in skills that can produce tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I couldn't agree more. And then once you get to that spot to where you can join the groups, like I joined one group and I won't say it, but I was way too close financially to the person that was running the group.
Yeah.
Like I want to be in the rooms with the Mark Evans and the Andy Purcells and Ed Milet's because, they're working towards billions, not, hundreds of thousands. Then that's what you want to learn from someone that's way ahead of you, not almost to where you're at.
I agree. But one other way that people don't realize is you can have a mentor in one part of your life. It doesn't have to be everything. So say you want to learn how to build a gutter business, like find a guy who's making millions of dollars doing it. He might not help you with all the other things in your life. He can help you with this. Then you can go find someone else for other things. So that's a great way. Like I do it right now. If I want to learn something in business, it could be something about marketing or something. So I go find that person. I go on like Upwork. I put a post and I pay somebody who's doing it, who's killing it. And then I pay them to do a phone call. And if I like them, I say, hey, how could I do like 5 calls like this? And can I bring my team on as well? That is such a fast way to do it. Learn. I don't want to sit there and it's not that I don't want to watch YouTube and read books because I do that too. But like sometimes you could just take a niche thing, find somebody who's doing it really well, pay them, and then just absorb that information. It's like downloading it. Super smart way to do it.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things that I love about our group is, when we meet, we kind of go boardroom style and then everyone will go around. So it'll be my turn and I'll talk about what's going on in my business, what my big ask is, what challenges I'm having, what things I need, ideas. And then you've got 30 other guys who are all high level business dudes focused on your specific questions. So now I'm bringing in a bunch of different industries. You got real estate, roofing, solar, business financing, political consulting, like all sorts of different ideas and angles of experience with high level individuals. And they're able to bring all these different ideas specifically to the situation or the problem that I'm showing up with. And just the value that you get there. Think about that. Or the Rolodex, also like,
that's key.
With your network as you grow it, it's like there's anything that I need, I can call in my network and have top tier referrals within an hour. And that's so invaluable in life and business,
Yeah. From Mark Evans alone, I've gotten so many referrals from accountants to attorneys and everything. It's just, you can make one text and basically the stuff they've built for 30 years. Because if you're in their group and they know, like, and trust you, they'll share that. If they didn't, they're not going to do that. Just like we won't.
Right. 100%.
Right? if you guys needed something and I knew the person, I would tell you. Somebody on the street.
Well, and the value of having like a vetted, maybe it's a mergers and acquisitions attorney or a specific, CPA or a specialized thing, like when you're out there trying to find something on your own, just trusting reviews and trying to Google it out versus being able to take a trusted referral from another high producing individual, like the value in that, and then knowing that you're working with the right person, especially when there's a lot of, sometimes it's sticky situations or there's a lot of money on the line, and you can have the trust in like, hey, I know I'm working with the right person because it came referred through my network. Like that's been invaluable to me.
Yeah, like I put that post one time, 2 years ago or 3 years ago in the Deal Maker about factoring or a question about finance, and you answered to John Federo. You just say, hey, call my buddy up. I called him, and he helped me out a lot, and me and him do a lot of business, and now he and I are friends. But that was just off. You had already built that thing. How was I going to meet John Federo otherwise?
How crazy is it, dude? He was literally just calling me 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah. And Mike, we did it with our doctor.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're looking great. You're looking healthy. And you're like, dude, call this guy.
Call TJ.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Get him on the phone.
I mean, talk about your results, bro.
Oh,
like
dude.
You look awesome, dude.
Yeah, 6 months, down 45 pounds, like feeling great. Had to change my diet and everything. Apparently, I was not eating well.
But dude, not only that, your wife is a nurse practitioner.
She is,
right?
Yep.
Traditional super fan of Western medicine.
Was not hip on me talking to TJ. She was not into it. She wanted me to stick with the traditional, and now she's taking the class and she's going to open up her own functional medicine clinic. So
wow.
And we're actually going to go meet with TJ and kind of set it up with him.
So dude, how crazy is that? I meet TJ at Arete, and you maybe kind of knew him, didn't?
Yeah.
But like I refer him, and now not only your health is better, but your wife's launching a whole new business from it.
Yeah. Just a complete pivot in 6 months. That was in December, or 8 months. So it's been
well, kudos to your wife for having that open mindset too.
Right.
Because a lot of people just wouldn't even listen to it.
Yeah. It's been a game changer. It changed my entire life. Like my energy level, everything has been great.
Dude, when because I'm down like 40 pounds this last year and a half too. And man, like when you feel better, you perform better, but like when you look good, you feel good. And when you look good,
right,
and you feel good, you got that extra swag.
Oh, absolutely.
And we're deal makers. So like you're going to make more money being in better shape. Like I can vouch for that for sure. And you're just going to feel better, which means your relationships are going to be better. You're going to show up better. You're going to be higher energy. People are going to want to be around you. It's just all, and that's what the whole lifestyle thing is for me. It's not just about making money, because if you're making money, but you're, gotten a shitty marriage and you're 40 pounds overweight like I was, it's like, well, what does it matter? So it's like, the lifestyle thing. And also one thing you said, Kevin, that I want to point out is not everyone's going to be the answer for everything. It's like the guy that you're getting business advice from might not be the person you want to do your spiritual work with, or they might not be the person you want to talk about marriage stuff with. And one of the things that I've heard that I really liked is, and there's a lot of unsolicited advice out there too, everyone wants to give their input and shit. And it's like, if I'm not willing to trade positions with the person who's giving me the advice or I'm taking the advice from, if I'm not going to trade positions with their life in that specific category, then I'm not fucking listening to
right.
it.
If you're a financial advisor and you're driving an 82 Honda Accord, like I'm not taking your advice. Like I don't want to hear what you're talking about.
Yeah.
100% agree. I mean, it goes on so many people. Like, if somebody who's also raising money or they're trying to get people to bring money to deals, but like their finances are like a mess.
Yeah.
Like you're not a good steward of money. I can't give you money.
Right.
But it goes with all these things. I agree. But just having the fitness and doing that, to me, it's like a whole package. You have so much more energy. I loved seeing that at the Dealmaker event. There was like a lot of guys in really good shape walking around there. You can see it.
Well, dude, because it's part of the culture, and it's part of, we're business athletes. We really are, and it's like, and I love that saying. It's like, I'm a business athlete. What does that mean? Well, it means I'm training every day. Well, what are you training, dude? You're a fucking real estate guy. I'm in the gym. I'm training my discipline by getting up early. I'm reading every day. I'm watching what I eat. I'm watching my macros. I'm bringing water in. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm training, dude, to go out there and kick ass and be successful in life and business, because I'm a business athlete.
I really like the shift that's taken in the last few years, because Kevin and you and I are about the same age. Like it used to be like, well, if you're at the gym, like you should be working, or you don't have time to take care of yourself because you're grinding so hard. But if you don't, why build this great business and these good relationships with your family if you're not going to live long enough to enjoy it?
Absolutely. I mean, I lost my father when he was 58. It wasn't from being in bad shape. He had brain cancer, but I mean, that rocked our family. 30 years later, we still think about it. So I think about that for myself. What's the point of making a lot of money and all these things if you're not there with your family to share it? Pointless.
Well, in addition to that, man, like who are you building yourself into as a man? Like, who is Kevin as a man? Who is Levi as a man? Because you're a husband, you're a brother, you're an uncle, a nephew, a dad, you know, you've got young kids. Like, who we are as men and the way that we show up as a human being and as a man, that filters down in the rest of our life, man. And that's like, we're leaders for our companies, our families, like role models for your son. I'm role models for my nephews, you know, all the stuff that, like, why we're shooting this podcast. It's trying to be an example or trying to show a different perspective or a new point of reference for someone who, like me, it's like, hey, there's something else out there that I want, but I don't know. I looked to mentors. So I found Grant Cardone, and I found Brad Lee, and I found, you know, Mark Evans, Andy Frisella, Ed Milet. So now I have these new mentors or these new examples of what a high producing good man looks like. And it's not just about making money in business.
You know what I think is I did this in 2014, so I was doing pretty well, but I wanted to get around more people who are doing well. So one thing you can do is you can find a lot of these people online. That could be your friends in the beginning.
You don't have to know them personally.
You do not. I was working and listening to that. I had moved to Atlanta. I didn't know anyone. I was basically just working, going to the gym, and I wasn't talking to anyone. But I felt like I had almost my own social group because I was following those guys online and listening to Greg Cardone on YouTube and Marcus Lemonis from The Prophet. Like, these guys spoke to me, and I was like, that's all I heard all day. Like, I had no negativity. I only had guys like that, Gary Vee, all these different guys. And that's a great way to get introduced to it. That's what, when I did that over and over, then I was like, I need to know these people, like actually them or just people like that. And now I do. And I mean, look at, we're here going to UFC, and that's really what I wanted to do.
I'm stoked, dude. The fight's tomorrow. Gonna be awesome. We're doing, you know, 3 podcasts today. We're gonna go walk some properties after this. Have an event, a meetup tonight at the lifestyle offices on buying and scaling businesses. And we're going to do a cool dinner, about 12 people after that. And then tomorrow, hang out Park City, Deer Valley, go look at some $20 million houses.
Yeah.
And then go to the fights, dude. And we're hanging out, having a good time, but also having our cup filled because we're talking about business and growth and self-development and opportunities. But we're like doing deals. Like I'm actively doing deals with Kevin. I'm actively doing business with Levi. And I'm sure the 3 of us are going to do stuff together. So it's like, we're winning with winners, and we're literally going to be more successful doing it together. And I'm just stoked you guys are out here.
Yeah, this is great. This is perfect.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for having us on.
So with where do you guys think, you know, like, what do you think the opportunities are coming up, Kevin, in real estate, business, the economy, just everything going on? There's a lot of...
Well, I'll let you guys talk on real estate. For business. 2 things, I think. Buying existing businesses that are already cash flowing. I'm a huge proponent of that. I think there's a massive opportunity, especially with so many baby boomers retiring their businesses. Every one of those businesses has customers, email lists, is cash flowing, and you can get them for incredible deals. And you're not taking it from them for a horrible deal for them. A lot of those businesses just go away. They don't make anything. So if you can buy a business that's worth maybe $1.5 million for $800,000 and some seller financing, it could be good for them, and it can be incredible for you because you're cash flowing day one. And then I like that combined with the trades. I like the blue collar trades. They're not going anywhere. I'm not going to say AI is not going to have any effect on them, but let's face it, like, if you're doing trades and stuff, those aren't going to get replaced. We've already seen AI and so many things change with technology. If I was a young guy and I was coming up, I would probably do an apprenticeship under somebody in the trade and then go start a hustle on the side, start getting customers, and then build my own business. I mean, you could be 25 years old with a $1 million business.
I have a 22-year-old son, and we just had this conversation. I'm like, if I were you, and he's got the greatest in, right? Because I employ all the trades on every house. I would say I go talk to the HVAC guy, the electrician. You like find out what you like and just start now. You'll be making a ton of money by the time you're 25 years old.
You could be 18 doing that all day, working as an apprentice, making money, learning. And if you want to go to college or whatever, you can go online at night. I mean, you don't need to go sit in a dorm and get drunk with frat boys. Like, you will be so much further ahead. That same person, like your son, they do that for 2 years. They start doing that at 20, and you got a dad like you to help. I mean, at 25 years old, they could have an incredible business, and their friends will be, trying to get jobs in cubicles for 40 grand.
And like you're saying, then they start an electrical company, and then at 30 they buy up 2 or 3 of the other their competition, and then they just keep growing. I think you're 100% right.
Incredible opportunity. They don't even have to start one. If you have somebody, if I saw a really young kid, hungry young kid, and he was 21, 22, of course, like, he was related to me and I knew him, yeah, I would do that. I would do that with my son in 15 years.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's just go buy one. You're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help you with it.
Well, dude, and people severely underestimate the amount of money that's in the trades. And you call it blue collar millionaire, for real. I mean, you've got
millionaires.
Dude, you've got a gutter cleaning business, and you just shot down an offer for fucking $20 million. I know you don't like to talk about it, but like, think about that, dude. Did you ever think that would be reality when you were sleeping on your brother's couch in 2008?
I never thought that at all. I never even thought that big. I really thought small back then. All I was trying to do was like, how do I go make $250,000?
Yeah.
The reason it changed is because I was in debt and I had so many things. So I was like, one day I just wrote down, like, how much do I really need to make all this shit go away? And then I thought, it's not just a number. How much would I need to pay everything off? But then, like, after it's paid off, then I get it. It's my new lifestyle.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, it's $1 million. I need to net $1 million. So I'd reverse engineered it. This is how much jobs are. This is how much I net on a job. So say it's $1,000 in net on a job because, this apartment complex, I need 1,000 of these. And then I said, well, if you do them twice a year, I only need 500. All of a sudden you start writing that down. I remember sitting there and I'm like, I could do this.
Becomes more real when you start mapping it.
Yeah, like, this is not crazy. And I remember telling a friend of mine, again, like, he kind of a small thinker, and then he was like, $1 million. He was like, what gutter cleaner grosses $1 million? I said, I'm not talking about grossing, Playboy. I'm talking about net.
Yeah.
And he was like, get out of here.
And then you start putting yourself in the big boy rooms, and you start thinking bigger, and you're like, yeah, this is really obtainable.
I mean, I was really thinking, like, that's, for most of my life, I was thinking 150 was good.
You remember when $100,000 was like made?
Because we grew up, that was in my neighborhood. My parents were making that, and there was like one guy who was making $100,000, and I knew who he was.
Right. Everybody did.
And I was like, I got to be this guy.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of money until you make it, and then you're like, fuck, it ain't a lot of money.
But that guy that I was talking about, he worked like 70 hours a week. He'd leave at 5 in the morning, come home at 10 at night. I mean, he had the worst life. So I was like, well, maybe I don't want to do that then. So I was trying to figure out the lifestyle. But that's the most important thing, is figuring out, reverse engineering everything, not only the money, your lifestyle. Because for me right now, I don't look at any deals that would take me away from my office and my house. I like to be in my house. I like my son to walk in anytime he wants and talk to me. I like to go out to the gym or go out to Chipotle with my girl and my son. I can do that.
Well, and I think a big part too is, people talk about self-development, right? But self-development isn't reading a book on sales skills or maybe a little bit on mindset. It's truly developing yourself. And part of that process that you went through, it's like, who do you have to become that's capable of getting those 500 buildings or those 50, whatever it is? It's like, you got to become a certain individual that's even capable of producing those results. And that's the biggest part of the whole journey. It's like, okay, well, here's a blueprint, but who's the dude that I got to show up as every day that's going to be capable of producing this result?
100%. You got to become the person to do it. You become the person before you get the result. Everybody else wants the result, and then they just hope they'll become that person.
Way before you were that person.
Years before.
Yeah, years. Listen to that, guys, especially you that are newer. Like, in this world, everyone wants shit overnight, and the reason my logo is the iceberg is no one sees the shit below the waterline, man. I mean, it's how long you been in business? 20 years. Like you're a 20-year overnight success, and it's like everyone just wants shit right now, and that's not how it works.
You got to become that person, and you got to keep pushing yourself, and things are scary, and everything that you want is on the other side of adversity.
Yeah.
There's even I want to speak tonight. If you told me 4 years ago I was going to speak in front of people, I would have been, hell no, I don't want to do that. I wouldn't want to do it. But I said, yeah, I got to start doing things, talking in front of people and doing things if I want to get to where I want to go.
And now they call it visualization, right? It's huge in our world. But like when we were growing up, it was like, oh, you're a dreamer. Like,
yeah,
like you picture yourself talking in front of people. Oh, Kevin's dreaming again, right? Like, but now it's like now you're really manifesting that to happen.
Things are so different now. So young guys listen to this, like being an entrepreneur is cool. You tell, but in 1991 when I got out of high school and I said, yeah, I'm not going to college, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I already had this landscaping. Like that was like code for you're a loser.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be a bum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had so much negative feedback from my friends' parents, my own parents, my family, but I was focused on what I want to do. And it was, you got to do where your energy's at.
That's big, man. I think everybody's so focused on what other people think and what they should be doing, what society says you should be doing. And the second you set that down and start doing what you want to do is really when you're going to find happiness, whether that's making money or not. But like, you can't be living for what everybody else wants.
I hung on to that for way too long, cared about what people thought. Like, wish I'd have done that 20 years ago, drop that.
I was fortunate that I really didn't. I basically always did whatever I want. And I can look at a few things in my life that didn't go well. And it's kind of when I went with society or what other people want. Anybody can do that. If you look at your life, reverse engineer it, you say, what has really worked for me? I guarantee you that you wanted to do that and you put all your energy into it. And when you look at shit that didn't work out, there was probably some outside factors that led you to that.
Well, dude, and you have to be all in, man. This shit is not easy. Building a business is not easy. Being in business is not easy. Being self-employed, investing, money, capital, your credit, investor money. Like there's so much stuff that comes with that it's not easy. Like you got to be built for this shit. And if you don't develop yourself into the person that's capable of handling the stress, the pressure, the hard conversations, the discipline to show up and do the late nights when you don't feel like it and all the things that are involved, like you can't just show up and, like have a vision board that I'm going to be a millionaire one day and you're just going to show up and be there. You have to like build yourself into the person that's capable of doing it. And that's where it comes down to. It's like a lot of people say they want to do something, but like, are you actually going to do what's required?
It's become real hip to be the entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to be the entrepreneur, but like the 1% make it. The one crazy makes it.
Yeah. Like wanting it and doing it are two massively different things.
And it's funny now with Instagram and everything, there's like this, you got that dog in you. Everybody likes to put all that stuff up. All the people talking about that, like 99% of them are doing shit. Like there's no cameras on you. Most of your stuff is done when nobody's watching.
Right.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares if it was hard or whatever. You got to it's like you versus you.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I said at the beginning of the show. Like you're living your results right now and you either got them or you don't. Says you want it, but one of the biggest lessons I've learned for myself, more importantly than anything, and then once I learn it for myself, it's easy kind of to identify out there in the world, but it's like, if I feel the need to prove something, then I ain't there yet. If I got to prove it, then I ain't there yet. And then when I learned that for myself, that was a big one. But then you kind of see that, we go to these different groups, masterminds, and there's, even though you're in a room that you feel is vetted and people are paying money to be there, there's still a lot of jokers, man. There's still a lot of guys that are just flexing. And so the more someone talks, what I've learned is that the more that someone's flexing and talking, the less legit that they truly are, because you wouldn't feel the need to do that if you were really where you think you are.
I 100% agree. I find that with guys in these things where maybe I have an idea of what they're doing, and then when I find out they're humble and I have a conversation with them, like, Levi, I didn't know you were building that many houses. Like it just seems like they're always doing more.
Yeah.
And then the guys who are loud, they're always doing less. Like all of a sudden they're in a panic.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything's going wrong. It's really funny. And that's kind of like how I do it with Gutter King. Like I always, even my friends, like I just never tell them anything I'm doing. They heard me on a podcast and two of my best friends, they were like, man, you're in like, how many states are you in? I thought you were in like 2 states. They thought I was just in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. I told them, they just didn't give a shit.
Right. Your friends don't know. And then you get to these rooms, right? And then there's, 30 guys that are all doing great. So I like to like hang back and feel the room out. Like, so that's probably why it took an event or two for you and I to get to know each other. Just because I'm not the brag, the boastful, guy that goes out. Because I don't want to be the loudest guy in the room. I want to learn from everybody, and you can't do that with your mouthing off, trying to brag about yourself.
Yeah. So Levi, where do you think real estate's going? What opportunities do you see coming in the next few years?
I might be in the minority, but I'm super stoked about where the way real estate is going to be in the next decade. I mean, just from my point of view as a builder and being now in the mortgage business is inventory is still crazy low. And people that are in for 2-3% interest aren't going to sell. So for me, the building industry is going to be great because everyone's going to need housing, and everyone, the rate it will come down. And at those times, that's when the refis are going to happen. More houses, people are going to spend more money. I think now is a great time to be in real estate. Well, how do you feel about it?
Well, from the buying perspective, I mean, Salt Lake's where I'm at. We've been the hottest market in the country, or one of the hottest markets in the country for the last 4 years. And then we tanked hard about 20% late summer. Like August, September, things really slowed down, and we lost a lot of money, like a lot of money on a lot of deals. Mm-hmm. Now things have stabilized out. Prices aren't up, but the market's moving again. But I'm with you, man. I think that people who have rates that are sub 4%, they're not going to move because even the equity that they have isn't going to come close to touching the fact that you're going, like, for example, the mortgage on my primary residence is 2.9. If I were to go get something today as a broker, where we have the best pricing out there, it's still 6.5, man, with good credit and all this stuff. So like you're going to have your interest rates more than double. So it doesn't make sense to go anywhere. You can't do anything with your equity. You're not going to sell and move. So I like that. But I think that right now, what I was going back with the market, I think right now as a buyer, it's the best time to be a buyer in the market. So I do some real estate agent stuff. And I mean, I just helped a kid buy his first townhome, and he got the lowest price sold unit in that entire development in the last 3.5 years. So we got him in at 360. The next lowest comp was like 375, 380. So he bought at the bottom,
right,
based on the comps. And I'm not even going back a year. I'm going back like 2 years. He's got the 3 years. He's got the best deal in that place. And his rate, he probably has a rate that's in the mid 6s, but we'll refinance him. So
in a year.
Yeah. I love this saying of like, marry the house and date the rate. I think that truly is going to be a thing. You can't, never in history have we increased interest rates as quickly as we are right now. So I think they have to come down, and that's exciting if you're in the mortgage business because refinances are going to be prevalent.
Right.
But I think if you're on the buying side, especially now is a great time. So we're seeing the market moving in Utah. Other markets I think are still kind of slowing down, but we felt it earlier because we were priced so high. So that interest rate increase really pinched us. But no, man, I think it's good. We got to keep a tight eye on interest rates, but I don't know how much higher they can really keep increasing them before the bottom like totally falls out. So I'm bullish on real estate. I'm buying a lot of deals right now and excited about it. The mortgage business is tough because of rates, but when they start coming down, you're going to see purchase applications coming in more. People are going to be able to afford more. Their dollar is going to go further. And when rates come down, dude, refinances. If you're in the mortgage business, I'm going to be working 7 days a week.
And they say, everybody loves the term, buy low, sell high, but they don't realize, they don't think that the reason that the prices are low is because the interest rate's high. So really now is the time to buy, like Mike said.
Well, what's going to happen is as those rates go down, everything becomes more affordable. So as rates go down, I believe prices and values are going to go up. So if you can capitalize on getting some of the best buying conditions we've seen in the last 4 years, then that makes sense.
I agree with what you were saying is if houses are going down 20%, I've seen some, you see these reductions on Zillow because I follow some houses in this one town, they go down. That's why I'll buy it. I mean, for somebody who's getting an interest rate, it doesn't really matter. I don't really think I've ever even met somebody who's paid off a 30-year mortgage.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, they're not going to be there, but you can if you want. It's not. And here's the thing: if you get into a house and you can afford it, I'm not saying somebody should get in there or something they can't afford. I mean, if you have some energy and some drive, you're going to be making a lot more money in 3 to 5 years anyway. So that $3,000 or $4,000 payment might seem hard today, but if you're doing everything you should, in 5 years, it's going to be nothing. But the fact is you'll refinance it before then anyway.
Absolutely.
You got like two options, make more money and refinance.
Yep. And I'm super bullish on buying investment properties right now, to just buying everything I could possibly get my hands on. Land, everything.
We're gonna start flipping some shit in Montana.
I'm ready.
What last question? What do you think about like a state like Montana? It's beautiful, and with people working virtually, I think we're going to find lots of people moving to areas like that where you can get more for your, more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to be in the city?
It's already happening in Montana. We've had a flood in the last couple of years since the pandemic. And absolutely, just
Let's call it what it is. It's since that show Yellowstone rolled out, dude. Everyone wants to live.
everybody. What's funny is I tell people, you realize that they never show winter on that show.
Yeah.
Like they never show the 60 below. But we've got a ton of people moving. Like Bozeman's a completely different town than it was 5 years ago. And like the Whitefish area and stuff like that. So
I mean, you're buying up rentals there. If you're buying up properties, it's gonna be
absolutely.
10 years.
Montana's a great place to be.
We just drove here. I've never been to Salt Lake, but the guys who were in Salt Lake, that's all you were talking about on the way here is how much it's grown. I mean, somebody who bought real estate 20 years ago here is killing it.
Well, dude, I mean, how many times did I literally say, dude, that this wasn't here 5 years ago. None of that was there 3 years ago. Like, this is an entire new city.
You know that guy I was talking about in my neighborhood had the money? He told me I was playing basketball at night. I used to shoot baskets. He'd come over and he'd talk to me because he played in college. But he says to me one time, he was about 50, my age now. He says, you'll never meet somebody my age who bought real estate smart when they were young, like good deals, who isn't really rich when they're 50. It's the truth. Like, not just somebody who buys it and they're all over the place. Like, if you buy real estate young and you hold on to it and you get good deals, like we're talking like things like Montana or here, it always ends up the same way. As long as they don't go leverage it and do stuff that they shouldn't do.
Right.
If they just chill and keep a little cash flow, they make a ton of money.
The appreciation alone will make you rich.
Yeah.
But then having cash flow on top of it to go buy the next one is how you just become super ultra rich. And that's all I've ever known is real estate. That's all I've ever been able to understand.
And then in addition to that, as one of the things that as you make more money and as you put yourself in different groups and environments, then it's like, okay, making money is one topic, but like, how do we keep the money? And the depreciation is a huge thing in real estate. So it's like, it becomes about not only making the money, but then you got to start worrying about keeping it and the tax game and all that shit. And you learn that. I learned that by being around guys like you, like different little tips here and there. And it's like, oh, you can do that? Yeah. Or you can
run that appreciation out, then you sell the property. Yeah. 1031 to the next one.
And then the next step is then keeping that for your family, so the next generation.
Yeah.
So they don't have to do as much as you did. It's an incredible thing. We'll learn all these things.
Absolutely. Now, if there was just a real estate mastermind to teach those things.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that. But guys, I mean, the name of the podcast is Build a Lifestyle. And like, this is literally what we're talking about. Us three dudes, we're building a lifestyle. We're building businesses. We're building relationships. We're building marriages. We're building kids. We're building our bodies, our mindsets, and building a lifestyle. And that's really what the podcast is about. So I was stoked to have both of you guys on it.
We appreciate you having us here. Yeah, for sure.
You got any exiting words of wisdom? What do you got, Gutter King? Let's hear it.
I'll go with the one we were talking about, win with winners. I mean, it's so super simple. If a guy's driven, motivated, smart, hungry, win with that person.
Win with winners?
Yeah. I would say put yourself in the mastermind rooms, to where we all met. That's where you start to build your game. You really just get bigger thoughts in your head.
Yep.
I like it.
Last one is learn from people who are doing or have done what you want to do. If you wouldn't, like you were saying, if you wouldn't trade places with them, don't listen to them. That goes with anything in life. If you're talking about, first of all, you shouldn't be talking about your relationship with people, but you don't talk about somebody who's in a bad relationship and try to take advice from them about yours.
Right.
How's that helping you?
Right.
So I only talk about shit I know. So that's what I help people with. Relationships, I'm not a relationship expert, so I won't tell you anything about it,
I like it.
Yep.
Well, I'm ending with my favorite one, man, and that's plan B is reinforcing plan A. You're either about it or you're not, and you either want to win or you don't, and you're either going to do what's required or you're not. So I appreciate you guys watching the show. Go build that lifestyle, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, man.
Oh, actually, I want to have them clip in following you guys.
Okay.
Hey, so whoever's editing this, if you can fit this in with them talking about where they can find them, wherever it makes sense to do that, please do that. So, hey, Kevin, Gutter King, where can people follow you at and connect with you? Because you've got tons of value. You're looking for deals. You want to help people. Where can people find you
All
at?
right. You can find me at Kevin Marron. Kevin, last name Marron, Marron, on Facebook. There's only 2 of us on there. But I got a Facebook group, Blue Collar Millionaire. You can go on there. I try to give out a lot of good information, try to help guys make money. BlueCollarMillionaire.net as well. You can reach me. Those are the best places to reach me.
Right on. Hey, Levi, where can everyone find you at, bro?
I'm on Instagram. I'm Levi_Wanner, WANNER. Lots of good real estate stuff on there. And then just Levi Wanner on Facebook.
Cool. And don't forget about your boy at Michael.Burns on Instagram. We'll see you guys later. Hey guys, thank you for taking the time to listen to the show. I appreciate all the love and support. As always, if you like the show, please leave me a review, share it with a friend, and if there's anything that I can assist you with, please reach out. I'm here to help. And until then, go build a lifestyle.